I'm Don. Today, I'd like to show off my Space Marine miniatures. When Space Marines first came out, they were plastic miniatures. And as you can see here, I painted mine in a camouflage pattern and gave them a rank guidon on the side. They camouflage for Forest Planet. Of course, they had the chain sword or chain bayonet on the end of their guns. Then I decided to do desert camouflage and bought some Space Wolves and so forth, so on. About that time, they came out with the announcement that Space Marines didn't use any type of camouflage. They weren't trying to hide from anybody. So much for those. Now over here, we have some of the officer guys. The particular one I like best here is the chapter commander or chapter whatever. I'm sitting on his throne. I got two of those. Back here is my Legion's Terminator suits. Here we have my Legion's heavy weapons. Here we have the original Space Marine dreadnoughts that came out, and as you can see, some of them have the short leg, or some of them have the short legs, and some of them have the long legs, and they came with a variety of weapon mounts. They only had the one option, so you had to be very careful what you bought. See, most of them had the twin bolters. Not sure what this is. I think this is a laser cannon here. We'll move on over here to the main bulk of the army. You can see the sergeants up here at the front, and then the line troops going all the way back here. Here we have the medical troops, and I believe these are psychics here. Back here we have the scouts. That's interesting. Not sure why you would want Space Marine scouts, though. Here we have the jump pack group. And over here we have more of the special units. These are some old armor types. These are aquatic soldiers. And these are Ordo Malus Inquisitors and rogue traders themselves, I believe. So they're very hard to find miniatures now, but there they are. Back here we have some of the, we have an Inquisitor Trooper, and here we have some of the very first Grey Knights that came out. And here we have some more of the Grey Knights over here. Now back here we have chaplains, and then the various and sundry Tech Marines. These two were the very first Tech Marines that were released. Here we have bikes and, of various types, including the sidecar bikes with multi-meltas on them. Here's a more recent one, probably the most recent one here. Here we have the land speeders and jet bikes. They go together. These being the more heavier ones. And here we have a non-Games Workshop miniature. But he's beautiful with his jet back there. Now, a story about the Sisters of Battle. I bought the original Rogue Trader rules and played with those for a long time. And they didn't have Sisters of Battle in them. And then when the miniatures came out, I thought, oh, great, bought them up. But for at least a couple of years, I thought they were female Space Marines. I didn't realize that they had decided not to make female Space Marines, except for one or two rare miniatures, and that the Sisters of Battle were just regular old girls running around in space, cut down Space Marine armor. I always thought that the Sisters of Battle should have been proper female Space Marines.
You didn't show your Blood Angels.
Here we have, well, I'll get back to those.
Okay.
Here we have Sister of Battle, which I added the Eldar flight wings to. This is from an Egyptian role-playing game, Wings, that I added to this. I believe she's got the wings of Horus on her. That's the god Horus, not the traitor Horus. And here I think is the first Sister Celestin. I don't seem to have an older one of that, except for these, and I just replaced those with the backpacks on these. Over here we have the Blood Angels. You have to go back in the back here. They're all in red. Now, the Blood Angels had the red with black piping for their livery. But one day, I saw a Blood Angels cleric, and he was dressed in black with red piping. And that's where I got the idea for my miniatures, or my Legion's color scheme. Also see here the various banners. This one I'm particularly proud of. These are all cut out of Games White Dwarf magazine, and trimmed down to what I wanted them to be, and then put on some cardboard and added as a flag. And as you can see, if I didn't have a piece to cut out of Games Workshop, I just left them blank because I'm not a very good tiny artist anymore. Anyway, that's been the miniatures.
Did you show these?
The Space Wolves?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have mentioned them anyway. Now here you can see one of the very first dreadnoughts. You can see I added a wolf's head to him to make him a space wolf. And here we have a space wolf with the rocket pack that was printed for me by Thomas, the 3D printer god. And of course, as you recall, the box full of Space Marines that I've just started to get around to painting that Richie gave me.
Are you picking them up?
Well, the box is too fragile, but let me give it a shot. Oh, there we go.
And Richie gave these to you a while ago, didn't he?
Several years, actually. You could ignore the medieval knights here, but he gave me quite a selection of bikes and the newer models, etc. They're much taller. Space Marines are supposed to be 8 feet tall, and yet if you look at them in comparison to the other miniatures and the other ranges, they're all just regular 6-foot human sized. And the dreadnoughts are supposed to be, or the Terminator armor is supposed to be 10 feet tall. So, who knows? They're miniatures. That's all that's supposed to be known about them. But I really do like some of these newer dreadnoughts. They're much bigger than the old ones, so a little bit closer to the right size, I guess. Anyway, many thanks to Mr. Ritchie for this new vast wave of Space Marines. I'm going to paint those all in the red colors that he wanted for his army. And pretty soon I'll get out the tanks for the Imperial Guard and the tanks for the Space Marines and all that and show them to you. And I think next I'll try and do the Imperial Army. And then we'll get back to what I play with, and that's the Dungeons and Dragons miniatures. So, that's it. Thanks for Becky, and thanks for me, and Noodle, and Juju. We all appreciate you watching. By all means, comment, and like, and share, and whatever else that you guys do out there. Has been done, and goodbye.